Welcome back. So part of being a programmer is learning new things, and I've learned a new thing. It's called a ternary conditional operator. So I want to share with you what the heck that is, what it means, what it does. Apparently there's a couple different types of operators. There's unary. Let me write this out for you. There's unary. There's a binary. And there's ternary. So it's like 1, 2, or 3 targets. So that being said, let's see what we're talking about here. What it is basically is a way of writing kind of like an if statement in one line of code. So I like this. There's an example on the swift3tutorials.com website. Let me just type that out, give them a little bit of credit, but I liked this example. So it's swift3tutorials.com, and their example talks about Chuck Norris. So there's a variable, and it's called you mess with Chuck Norris, and it's a bool. Currently, it's false. You have not messed with Chuck Norris yet. And there's two answers. If you mess with Chuck Norris, then one of two things is going to happen. So we'll make answer 1 equal if you mess with Chuck Norris, then you die horribly. Let answer 2 equal you live. So the way you would write this in ternary fashion, I keep wanting to say ternary. Let's say there's a variable. It's this is what happens, and it's a string. It's going to return a string. So we start with our you mess with Chuck Norris bool. See, this is a bool. It's either true or false, and we add a little question mark here. Answer 1. Colon answer 2. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bigger. So you see already it's compiling. It says you live. Well, how do we read this? So we're making a variable. This is what happens, and the string, it's going to return one of these two strings. And if you mess with Chuck Norris, then you get answer 1. If you mess with Chuck Norris, like that's the way I'll read it. You mess with Chuck Norris? Question mark. Answer 1. Colon here. Otherwise, answer 2. So if you do if this is true, then this. If not, then that. It's called a ternary conditional operator. And you can return other things like bools or let's try another one. All right, here's another example from syntaxdb.com. And what they say is we're going to make a variable called number1, call it 3, number 2 is 5, and the max is equal to. So you've got condition here. The condition is number 1 greater than number 2. If number 1 is greater than number 2, then number 1. If number 1 is not greater than number 2, then number 2. Not exactly as fun as this Chuck Norris example, but it is an example of using, instead of a bool, a condition. So it seems like you need a true or false thing to go right here. True or false, question, then this is your answer. If it's not this, then let's return this one. Versteh, as my grandmother used to say, versteh, it means understand in Yiddish. So hopefully this helps you guys, and subscribe to Cracking Code with Dave. And yeah, check out swift3tutorials.com and check out syntaxdb.com. I found some really neat little examples there on ternary conditional operators.